everybody, it's FemTrooper, and today I'm going to be talking about the best action JRPGs on the Nintendo Switch. So hey, I love a good turn-based JRPG, but lately I've been really enjoying a lot of action JRPGs. They're great, they're fantastic, and I've played actually a decent amount, so I want to talk about my favorites. There are ones I've played that I'm not going to talk about today because they were just eh. So I really just want to talk about my personal favorite action JRPGs on the Switch. Of course, before we get into that, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so. Really helps me out, as well as like this video and tell me what the best action JRPGs on the Switch are for you. What are your favorites? So let's start this list off with an excellent title, one I love, I think it's great, and that is Star Ocean: The Second Story R. This is so great, graphically stunning, oh my god, but a great story. This is that big sense of adventure, you know, going on an adventure with all your friends kind of thing. That's what this is, and those are my favorite kind of JRPGs. Now, usually those kind of JRPGs are turn-based, but this one is not, and it's great, and I'm a recent Star Ocean fan. I really like this series. It's awesome. I can't wait to play more of them, quite honestly. I'm really excited. So, I mean, recommend a Star Ocean game to me. I've only played this one and Divine Force, so, you know, I want to hear where I should go next, but besides that, I love it. It's a great game. Everything about it was fun. It has, you know, the normal JRPG stuff, but there's a sci-fi element to it, of course, because, you know, you came from Earth and you're on a different planet, so that's fun, and really good story, great characters. You know, the music is good too. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely really good. But graphically, wow. I mean, story and graphics, perfect. And, you know, you're going all over the place. You get to go to different towns. I mean, this is my jam. So, highly recommend Star Ocean: The Second Story R. Okay, here's one that I have talked about many times, so we don't need to go into it like crazy. But that is Harvestella, a game I completely wrote off when it first was announced. I was like, ew, farming, gross. And then it turns out it's actually not. Farming is like 10% of the game, and it's not really a big deal. It's just part of it and whatever. Like, it's fine. Like, if you don't like farming, it's fine. And I was a little bit hesitant to play this, I'll be honest, because it doesn't have difficulty settings, and that kind of freaked me out because I thought, it's gonna get hard, I'm gonna get mad. But guess what? I did it! I beat this game fair and square, and I'm very proud of myself. And it's a really fun game because it looks very innocent and like normal, like very kind of medieval setting. This is your standard JRPG fare, and then you're like, oh, it's actually not. It gets really crazy. The story is out of control. It has a very unique sci-fi element to it that I won't get into because I don't want to spoil it, but just know that it is not some farming medieval thing. It is not. It is very interesting. I really like this game. It's beautiful. It has this world map that just feels so nostalgic and cozy and old school. I love it. I loved all the areas you got to you know, explore. Beautiful game, fantastic music, great characters, and a really fun you know, gameplay system. Like, yeah, it's action, but it was really fun. I enjoyed all of it. It's a really solid game that I cannot recommend enough. Another game that I just fell in love with. I love this game to bits, and that is Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. Oh my gosh, this is a wonderful game, and again, I missed it when it came out on PSP, but it's great. This is fantastic. God, it makes you really like Zack Fair. He's now one of my favorite Final Fantasy VII characters because of this game. It's wonderful, and I can't, you know, express how awesome, like, I feel like I can't put it into words, but this game feels so nostalgic in the best way possible. If you want a game that brings you back to the early 2000s, I realize it didn't come out in the early 2000s, but whatever. If you want a game like that, it's this. It feels so PS2. You're walking around and it just feels kind of like Final Fantasy X. It really does, and For me, that's like a huge positive. I love it. It's great. I really enjoyed this game. Everything from the, you know, strange, like, heavy metal music to, which, it's not strange, but it's just, it's different. I enjoyed that. To the great characters. I really enjoyed the story. It was super fun. I really enjoyed the battle system, actually. Like, it's great. Everything. It's really, really fun. It really feels like a PS2 game, and I just, if you like Final Fantasy VII, you're gonna love this. You kind of should know Final Fantasy VII before getting into this, to be honest. But I mean, at this point, who hasn't played that? So play Crisis Core, it's great. Now we have a game that is kind of, you know, it's perfection, let's be honest, and that's Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I first originally played this on the Wii, and I thought, this game is phenomenal. I'm loving this game, and then I hit a spot that got really hard and grindy, and I put it down. And then I ended up picking it back up on the Switch because they had a lot of quality of life features, and it is great. It is so, so good. This is one of the best games in terms of story. It's in suspense. It's thrilling. Oh my god. I mean, you gotta play it if you haven't. It's really, really good. Now, individually, I don't really have a favorite character in Xenoblade Chronicles, but in terms of, like, a cast of characters, it's wonderful. They all work together. It's great, and it is so exciting. I remember each chapter, because it's kind of, it's one of those games where it's built into chapters, which I love. I'm a huge fan of that. Every single chapter ends on a cliffhanger. Every single chapter, you're like, like, it was great. I cannot express how awesome that is. I love that feeling because it makes you want to just keep going and play more, like a great TV show or something. It was great. It's episodic. It's fantastic in that way where you're like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen? I was just in love with this game. It is really great. And these games have wacky, weird battle systems that I don't freak out, because I know some people, the battle systems freak them out and they don't want to play them because it's like, what is that? I can't deal with it. No, there's an easy mode on this, so you can deal with it. If I can deal with it, you can deal with it. I swear. So yeah, definitely play Xenoblade Chronicles if for some reason you still haven't. You have to. And of course, I have to include this because I had a great time with it. And that is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I love this game. I love this game. It is so flawed. It is not perfect. And I'm still recommending it because I don't know if it's a 10 out of 10 game. That's fair. But I loved it. I had so much fun with it. I absolutely love the characters in this game. This one to me wins for characters over the first one. I have to say, I really did enjoy the characters in the second one more than the first. Beautiful game, just like the first, but it's just so much fun. You know, if you like the first one, you will like this. And again, there's a difficulty setting, so you don't have to freak out and worry about it. It's great. I really like it. I played it during my recovery from my surgery a couple years ago, and I don't know, it just was the perfect game at the time. I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed every part of it, knowing what was going to happen. I remember at the end, it was kind of like one of those moments where you stand up and clap kind of thing. You're like, you're going to shed a tear because it was just so, yes, it's one of those. So yeah, I can, honestly, I recommend Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because yeah, it's a little different than the first one, and I think the first one has a better story overall. I think it's a better game. But Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is still really good. And yeah, it had some moments that made me get really mad. But overall, it's great. So I do have to recommend it because it's a lot of fun. Okay, it's not a FemTrooper list talking about action games if I don't include Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Come on! This is amazing. I love this game so, so much. It is an action JRPG, so it is on this list. It's kind of its own thing, but it still counts, and I really, truly, I actually legitimately recommend this game. It is so fun, whether or not you know anything about Dragon Ball Z, because I went in blind, I loved it. But it's really, really fun. It kind of has a sense of open world, so if you like that, you might, you know, really embrace that aspect of the game. It's pure Dragon Ball Z. It is literally you playing out the anime. I can't express to you, like, it is so much fun. It is such a great game. I gush about it. I gush because it's just, you know, gorgeous for starters. It's beautiful cel-shaded graphics, A wonderful story that plays in all 4 arcs of Dragon Ball Z. You're getting it all here and more, and there's so much stuff you can just do. You don't have to just follow the side, you know, the sort of the main story. It's really just a great time. Like, if you like JRPGs and you like anime, or you love Dragon Ball Z and the Dragon Ball universe, you owe it to yourself to give this a chance. It is just an amazing fun time. So, those are my picks for best action JRPGs on the Switch. Obviously, I haven't played them all, and there's a few on here that somebody else might recommend that I played and I wasn't like, it was just okay for me, so I'm not going to mention it. But those ones I can safely recommend. Those are like my tops, my favorite, and I should do a turn-based list because, I mean, that's my favorite in terms of genre. I love turn-based JRPGs, so I should definitely do that. But yeah, I really just wanted to mention because I've recently I was thinking, man, I've actually played so many action JRPGs, I should talk about some of them. So there they are. Those are my favorite. Those to me are the best action JRPGs, and I'm still playing games. Like, I'm getting to stuff. So, you know, recommend. Tell me, what did I not say? What should I play? Whatever. Let me know in the comments, and of course, I'll see you guys in my next video.